my channel. What are we doing today? Today we are celebrating World of Watercolor. Unfortunately, I put my World of Watercolor prompts in this book, and that was before I learned that this book doesn't hold watercolor that well. It actually does a lot of bleed through. Here was my testing, the crazy art. And if you notice, it's right there. So it doesn't hold watercolor that well, but what it does hold well is acrylic markers. Another unfortunate part. Another unfortunate thing that it holds acrylic markers. So because my watercolor prompts are in this book, I will be doing acrylic markers in this book. However, if you want to follow along and put it on the proper paper, my World of Watercolor prompts are on my community section here on YouTube, so you could just follow along. I am sure I'll probably put it also in my Instagram for those who want to follow along there, so you can follow along with me. My World of Watercolor is actually a story that I'm telling, and of course there's little prompts within that story that you can follow along with, which I highlighted, and you can follow along with it. And that's it. So I have done it in this book, unfortunately. And so we'll start off here. And so I think this is going to be with acrylic markers, because like I said, I think the sizing in this book is gone. This is the Paul Rubin sketchbook, and it doesn't hold watercolor that well. It doesn't even hold watercolor pencils that well. What it does hold well is gouache and acrylics, and gouache and acrylic paints. So hence why I have out my gouache and acrylic paints today, and I've been practicing with it, and my voice is going, so that means I should shut up. And let's get to the coloring, shall we? Okay, let's get this started. I'm showing you guys the markers that I'm using. Yeah, I've had practice with these already, so it's kind of okay. I'm really enjoying that brand. I will put the name up that I cannot pronounce the name of. I'm really enjoying that brand of markers. And the thing I love about it the most in this sketchbook is that it doesn't peel the sketchbook like the other brands that I have, the Pointers, the Poscas, the Zaire's, and this Subzi's. It doesn't peel at all, so I really enjoyed with this sketchbook. Of course, it is not opaque, so I'm able to go over my black lines without having the feel that I need to re-ink it. And yeah, shaking. That's like the one discouragement I don't like about using acrylic markers. And it is an acrylic marker thing I don't like, because even though it took me about 30 minutes to do this actual coloring, it actually took me about another 30 to 45 minutes with all the shaking that I had to do to kind of reactivate these markers. But what I did appreciate about that brand is that I didn't have to shake too long like I would with the other markers. I am putting the bed in yellow because, again, I don't really go into these coloring sessions with a plan. It's just whatever feels right. And yeah, I know that a lot of other artists does thumbnailing, and they do, not only they do thumbnailing, but they also do digital thumbnailing, and they have, like, you know, what their color schemes that they want to use, and they have options. I just wing it. Whatever feels good to me, I go for. And I would love to do the thumbnailing and do all those amazing things, but when I think about it, I'll probably do one thumbnailing, like the idea, and then just do that. So yeah. I did like how this come out. I didn't like that blue, because even though it looks like I did it very quickly here, and this has been sped up 2.5 times, it took me a while to do. I think it took me like 30 minutes to do that, just with all the shaking that I had to do for the for priming the marker itself. The orange was a bit better. I just had to prime it a few times. Whenever you see me taking away is me priming the marker. Sometimes you'll even see me priming the marker while on camera pushing it down. And other thing that I noticed with this paper, and this is the Paul Rubens sketchbook, is that the paper is very absorbent. It absorbed the ink from the acrylic markers, and I'm always fearful that it's going to bleed through, but for the acrylic markers it doesn't bleed through, I guess because it's in a thicker medium than watercolor, which I like to thin out my watercolors a lot. So yeah, do you see me there priming the marker on the screen? That's why I have that little thing there, but I'll cover it up. The I should also kind of highlight that yeah, I know it's World of Watercolor, and I had all plans, guys. I had all plans to do an entire week of watercolor with you. But when I noticed that in this sketchbook, it doesn't really hold watercolor that well, I had to change course. And so for this, I had to do acrylic markers. That comforter took me about 20 minutes, just that comforter alone, because that yellow marker, and it's from the Sub-Ziz. I'm gonna put the name up for you. Yeah, shaking it took me like 20 minutes to do, because that marker was not cooperating with me at all. I actually wanted to put a nice little design on it, but because the marker wasn't cooperating with me, I had to like switch course and do something completely different. From there, I am sorry, the camera kind of turned a bit and I didn't notice, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave it in because these are some of the pitfalls of YouTubing. So yeah, I'm gonna give you some of my pitfalls today. And here I'm doing little Theo's beak, and I tried as much as possible not to give his beak an orange that will melt into the wall of the bedroom. And I think in this here said September woke up enthusiastic to face her day, and I think the marker, the prompt is actually wake. I think that's the prompt, wake. So yeah, and you see me there priming again, priming the markers. This is from the Frist. This is the Frist black, but the Frist alcohol marker, the color black, is not really a black to me. It's more like a really dark gray. So I was like, okay, well, it's a dark gray. We're gonna just use like a dark gray. And September here is not really black anyway. So I kind of enjoyed that. The other marker, and that didn't do, I primed it a few times, but it wasn't like that yellow. My God, that yellow took long to prime. And I'm doing the finishing up Theo. I'm sorry I'm not able to see him, that the finishing pieces that I'm doing to him on the side where I put his black. And now I am coloring the bed. I think the prompt is away. I will put the prompt too for you guys to see what the prompt is. And also I will add that what I did is I pulled out my acrylic paints. Yeah, those acrylic paints that you see in the previous video. I'm not sure, but you'll see those acrylic paints. And I kind of did some painting of the rest. And I wanted so badly to use that. Was it that color that gave me so much problems? There was an orange color that was like, oh my goodness. It gave me so much problems to activate. I don't know. I think there's color in it. No, that wasn't the orange color. That was from the Frisk orange, I think. This was a pointer metallic orange I wanted to use for the curtains, and it just gave me so much trouble to activate that I had to forego my my use of it. And here I am now with, I think these are the Posca red. Yeah, and I'm doing it with, and I do enjoy using my acrylic markers. I think for this month I'll use my acrylic markers. Yeah, there's the pointer metallic that I wanted to use. Like I think after like 5 minutes or so, I kind of forgot that. I couldn't do it anymore. I shake and shake and shake. I held it down. I tried my best to reactivate it, but it just wouldn't go. So I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm already tired. These are some new pointer glitter markers that I found at my local art and stationery supply store. I do have a write-up about these if you guys like me to do a review. Of course, I can do a first impression because I'm already using them, but yeah, I really did enjoy them. And unlike the other pointer glitter markers, these have real brush bristles, so that was nice. And it's activated from a press on from the back, and once you activate it like that, all you have to do is really shake it up and the glitter comes down. So that was really nice for it, and I was able to use that instead from the than the other pointer metallic markers that I want to use. I'm just showing you guys there the different colors that I have in that set. I got 9 different colors and I'm enjoying using it. I'm also enjoying using these brush tips. Like I'm literally considering just foregoing my fine names and use only brush tips, but I'm like, I'm thinking about it because yeah, I don't have as much trouble with those brush tips that I do with the fine nibs. You know, it's like ugh. And this took me, even though it's like a half an hour painting, it took me like maybe 2 hours to do, with all, like I said, with all the shaking up and stuff that I did, reactivating markers. It took me a good while to do. I had to take some rest and then get back to it because that's the beauty. So I'm only doing like maybe 1 or 2 acrylic painting, coloring pictures or painting pictures for the day. Guys, I will try to close this off here. We have about a minute left to go. I'll let you enjoy me doing some more coloring and then I will see you in the wrap up. Thank you so much. And I don't think there's anything left to say. So enjoy some of the music and I'll see you in the wrap up. Okay, friends, we are back. We are finished with our, here we are. Yeah, sorry. Prompt 1 is yarn. It's not a wig. I don't even remember what my own prompt was. But yeah, I actually did enjoy this a lot. I was able to put some patterns on the comforter after all. And I will be finishing up the rest of the prompts. I think there are 6 prompts here. So my first prompt is yarn. The next prompt is shower. And this is the illustration I had for it. If you remember my Patreon, these illustrations are there. Please print them on better paper that I have them drawn on. The next one, I have already put the acrylic paints over these, is picked. These acrylic paints for my foliage and for my sky. I've already used it here and here so that, you know, yeah. The next prompt is frightened, and I already put my sky and foliage down so that I could just go in there with painting. The next prompt is hide, even though this doesn't look like something that's hidden, but yeah. And I put sky. And my final prompt right here is peek. So yeah, it's all here. And I'll be I think I also did some of the extras, like here. These are coloring pages for my Patreon. So I've already pre-colored them with these, so that when time comes I just need to go in there with them. I think that's the last one. Yeah, here is the other one that I pre-colored. So yeah, and I did some pre-coloring in this book as well, so that, yeah. And I call this my unfortunate book for the fact that it's withering on me, guys. It is really withering on me. Look at that, withering on me. So yeah, I'll be using my acrylic markers, these that are in front of me, in those two sketchbooks. I have used these as my sky and foliage, which worked out perfectly. And that's what I'll be doing for the July. World of Watercolor July turned out to be Acrylic Markers July. But it's okay. You know, we learned, we lived, we loved, we learned. And that's a good thing. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.